Hello and welcome to the Genetics and Inheritance revision video from scienceworksheets.co.uk. Please like, subscribe and comment to support the channel. There are some key definitions that you need to learn. A gamete is a sex cell, so examples of that would be a sperm and ovum in animals or pollen and ovum in plants. A chromosome is a long, coiled molecule of DNA that contains many genes. A gene is a short length of DNA that codes for a protein. An allele is an alternative form of a gene. A dominant allele is an allele that is always expressed in the phenotype. A recessive allele is an allele that is only expressed in the phenotype when there are two copies present. Homozygous means having two identical alleles for a particular gene. Heterozygous means having two different alleles for a particular gene. A genotype is the combination of alleles of an organism has for a particular gene. And the phenotype refers to the observable features of an organism which are influenced by its genotype and the environment. Controlling characteristics. Some characteristics are controlled by one gene. So for example, fur color in mice or red-green color blindness in humans. Most characteristics are controlled by many genes. This is known as polygenic, poly meaning many, so e.g. height or skin color. For characteristics controlled by a single gene, the environment does not affect the outcome, and there's a limited number of outcomes. So for example, it could be yes or no for a characteristic, or it might be a specific blood group, A, B, AB or O. And it results in discrete data that can be represented by a bar chart. For characteristics that are controlled by multiple genes, the environment can influence the phenotype. And there is a whole range of outcomes, so there's normally a minimum and a maximum value with lots of intermediate values, so e.g. height or weight, and it results in continuous data that can be represented in a graph that shows a normal distribution curve. When the characteristic is controlled by a single gene, there is discrete data, so we use a bar chart. When there are many genes, so polygenic, there is continuous data, and so we use a graph, and you can see the normal distribution curve. An allele is an alternative form of a gene, so let's take eye color as an example, being blue or brown. So for a big B allele, it will give you brown eye color. A little b allele will give you blue eye color. The diagram shows three pairs of homologous chromosomes. Now, we inherit a pair of homologous chromosomes. One chromosome comes from each parent. So if we look at the example on the left, the individual would have inherited, say, a big B from their father and a big B from their mother. So they will be big B overall, giving brown color. The middle person would have inherited one big B and one little b, so they will be big B, little b, and they will also have brown eyes. The person on the right would have inherited two little b's, one from each parent, so they will be little b, and they will have blue eye color. Genotype versus phenotype. The genotype is the combination of alleles an organism has for a particular gene. So for eye color, this could be big B, big B, little b, or little b. Phenotype refers to the observable features of an organism, which are influenced by its genotype and the environment. So for eye color, this would be brown eyes or blue eyes. Dominant and recessive alleles. A dominant allele is expressed even if only one copy is present, such as big B. A recessive allele is only expressed if two copies are present, little b. This means that big B, or big B, little b will give brown eyes, but only little b will give blue eyes. A recessive trait can skip generations because a person only shows it if they have two recessive alleles. If they have one dominant and one recessive allele, the dominant trait is shown, and the recessive one is hidden, but it can still be passed on to their children. Homozygous versus heterozygous. Homozygous means you've got two alleles the same, big B, or little b. Heterozygous means you've got two different alleles, so big B, little b. From genes to traits, every observable characteristic called a phenotype comes from instructions in our genes, and the process can be understood by looking at a chain. Step 1. The gene. A gene is a section of DNA that controls a trait. So for example, a gene might control eye color or the fur color in mice. Step 2. The allele. A gene can have different versions called alleles. So for example, the eye color gene might have a brown allele, big B, or a blue allele, little b. Step 3. The genotype. Genotype is the combination of alleles that an organism has. So big B, 2 dominant alleles, big B, little b, 1 dominant, 1 recessive, little b, 2 recessive alleles. Step 4, the protein. Genes contain instructions to make proteins. The alleles determine which version of the protein is made, and proteins affect traits like pigment for eye colour. In step 5, the phenotype. The phenotype is the observable trait. So for example, big B, or big B gives brown eyes. Little b gives blue eyes, which is the recessive trait. Thank you for watching. See our revision notes, the link is in the description.